What's going on? The first live stream of the new year. I'm stoked to be doing this. This is rather impromptu. You know, I usually go live on a different day, but I'm not going to be able to make the Friday live stream. So stoked to be doing this today. We're going to be talking about something fun today, which is what if I had to start over? As a creator, I asked some folks on Twitter what I should talk about today for the live stream, and that was a great idea. So thank you to whoever recommended that. And so I had some put together some thoughts about what to talk about. But before I do that, let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat, where you're tuning in from, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, etc. Oh, let me actually pull up my Instagram chat if it's working. Let's see. I was having issues with the IG live, so I'm not sure if it's actually working today, but I guess we'll see. Oh, there we go. Maybe it is. There we go. Rashida, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in on IG and blessed. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Okay, so if you have any questions about sponsorships, negotiations, brand deals, etc., those are all fair game. Leave it in the chat. But I wanted to start off talking about this topic, which is that what if I had to start over as a creator? Hey, Coco. Hey, Lindsay. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so like basically what I would do differently. What do I regret? What would I not do differently, etc. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was that I would have probably started over on a new YouTube channel. So for those of you who don't know, this Creator Wizard channel, I've got about 41,000 subscribers on it. This used to be a different channel. It was an advice channel, like life advice, career advice, relationship advice. That was a channel I started maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I made hundreds of videos on it. And so that the bulk of my subscribers came from people who subscribed to me for that content. And so when I basically took a hiatus from that channel and I stopped like making videos on it for many years. And when I decided to start creating content to help creators, I just basically kind of dusted off this channel and rebranded it and privated all my old videos and started pumping out content again. And one of the challenges with that approach is I was like, well, first of all, I was like, should I make a new channel? I've got this channel here. I'm not doing anything with it. I might as well just like, people know me from there. So I might as well just kind of rebrand it and start making videos on there again. That was my intuition, right? But under the surface, there were some complexities there. There's some subtleties, right? So the first one is that lots of people like who followed me before aren't interested in this new type of content, right? They were interested in maybe the other, just general types of advice I was giving, but they weren't creators, right? And so they didn't care about these new types of videos that I was making. So that's number one. Number two is that when my content goes out to people's subscription boxes, like on YouTube, there's not very many people that click, right? Which tells YouTube that my videos aren't as relevant, right? And doesn't show them to as many new people, right? So it's like, when people don't click them, they say, oh, I guess the videos aren't relevant. So it's not going to show them to even more people who have said that they want to subscribe to me, even new people who are interested in my creator focused content, right? So that's another thing. And then the other thing too is that just because I had 40,000 subscribers on this channel doesn't mean anything if people aren't watching, right? So I think to some degree it was kind of a vanity or ego thing for me too. It was like, I don't want to like start all over again. Like I've got this channel with 40,000 subscribers. I might as well like utilize it, right? And so that was one thing that I do. If I would be starting over as a creator right now, I probably would have just started a new channel. And I've talked to quite a few kind of like YouTube experts or whatever and social media experts about this very topic about can you revive kind of like a zombie channel, I guess you could call it, right? Basically the advice that they all gave me was that you totally can. And so that's what's kind of like kept me going is like I feel like if I just can consistently pump out good content, over and over for a long time, the types of people, types of viewers that I want watching me will eventually find me, and then hopefully I'll be able to kind of reverse that trend. But it has been an uphill battle, and so that is like the first thing I wanted to mention. If those of you who are tuning in are interested in potentially trying to figure out YouTube, and you want it, or maybe you had an old channel and then now you want to do a different type of content, I would definitely consider maybe creating a new channel. The other side note to that too is that if you have multiple interests and you want to start, like they're very different interests. I know a lot of creators who like want to talk about everything on the same channel, right? And I'm always a proponent if they're like two very separate things and you do feel confident that you can maintain both channels or both platforms consistently, that I would recommend separating those things. Because again, it's that whole idea of like, when that video gets served to your potential followers who have said subscribe, that they want to subscribe to you, are they going to click on it? Are they going to watch it? Right? If it's very different, then 50% of the time, if you're making two different types of content, 50% of the time, if you're uploading on the same channel, that person's not going to click. And so all those people who said that they wanted to subscribe for you for that first thing are no longer going to be even seeing that video in their home feed or subscription box, right? So it's just really something to consider, and probably something that I would have changed a little bit differently. Coco in the chat said, I'm experiencing something similar on my TikTok. I am swerving from eco activism to sustainability and crypto, and my old audience is not into it. Yeah, it's a challenge, right? And so I would say that make 2022 like your decision point. It's like, okay, what is my content going to be about? Am I going to make one type of content? Am I going to make multiple types of content? If I'm making multiple types of content that are maybe not serving the same audience, maybe I need to have multiple different, like two different platforms for that. And I honestly think that that's there is something to that. Again, I'm not a YouTube growth expert like at all, but I am very kind of like deep in this space, and like all the experts and all the consultants and all the people that I've hired to talk about this stuff or to like ask advice about this stuff have all told me that like, having channel specific content is very important, because you can cater to different audiences essentially. And that's the same like logic that I use to apply to my email list, for example, is that you should have segments to your audience. So I have like two main segments in my audience. One, who are kind of beginner and aspirational type creators, right? They're just kind of going from 0 to 1, like getting over that first hump of like becoming a creator, making income from being a creator, etc. And then I have more like intermediate to advanced level creators who have a business, have making lots, a significant amount of income. Maybe they're full-time creators. They're doing lots of paid brand partnerships, etc. Right? So it's like I have to have those two audiences in my mind. And then when I actually serve different content in my newsletters to those different segments, right? So especially when I'm launching products or launching courses or things like that, I have to speak very differently to those different segments, right? So a course all about like how to get transition from getting a bunch of free products to actually getting paid for it won't maybe speak as much to the person who is doing like 50 brand partnerships a year or something like that, right? So it's just a similar idea that you really want to make sure that the content that you're creating is resonating with the people who have said that they want to like follow you, basically. Ted, what's up? Ted in the chat here is the person I just remembered is the person on Twitter who recommended this topic. So good topic, Ted. Thank you for this. This is great. And Coco said, your hair looks great today. Coco, thank you. I appreciate that. I did get a haircut a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I appreciate that. That's funny. Hey, Hannity, thanks for tuning in. And who we got on the IG chat? Little Weird Guys, how does Snapchat Spotlight work? Is it lucrative? Interesting. I should probably connect you with my friend Cody, who has been doing Snapchat, as well as my other friend Lily. They both do Snapchat Spotlight, and I believe it is a program that you need to get invited to participate in. I do not know very much about the program, so Little Weird Guys, if you want to DM me after, like on Instagram after this, let me know and I can connect you with them. And Serena Finch, Risha, Fernanda, and Bless. Yes, thank you all of you for joining in. And Bless said, it's not too late for you, Justin. I'd say you have quite a bit of following for Creator Wizard, and people really look up to you and value your advice. So I'd say it's not too late for you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, what if I had to start over as a creator? I would, like on this topic, I would start with a much more narrow focus, right? We were just talking about this. So I started out, like my kind of tagline was teaching you the business of being a creator. And I actually thought that was pretty specific, right? It seemed pretty specific. But even that was too vague, I discovered. And I wish I honed in on my niche of being a sponsorship coach earlier, because ever since I did that, and this was only a couple months ago, and I have to give Emily and Sarah from the Keto Twins a lot of the credit for making me, like pushing me. They weren't really pushing me in this direction, but they gave me an aha moment where they were basically, they said to me, is there any reason why you are calling yourself a like brand deal coach, or all your videos about brand deals, brand deals, brand deals. She said the word sponsorship actually resonates more with us as creators, because every other creator you hear when they work with the brand is like, oh, thanks to, Target, or thanks to Walmart or whatever for sponsoring this video. So that subtle switch in vocabulary really matters. So I changed all my branding. I started calling myself a sponsorship coach instead of a brand deal coach. And just like the moment I did that, and I realized I really like honed in on this niche, I was like, this is my topic. This is my niche, or this is like the growth, the trajectory of like my growth, looking at my email list or my social following or all this stuff. When I really honed in on like what my wheelhouse was, that like I really saw a big change. And again, it seems counterintuitive, right? Because like having a more specific like area of focus, you would think, oh, like not as many people would want to follow me. I wouldn't get in as many sponsorships or opportunities. But that is how people are going to tell you apart from others, right? There are a lot of people who are like giving growth advice. Like if, someone landed on my page and it was saying like the business of being a creator, you could easily think that that was about growth strategies, right? And there's a lot of people who talk about that on YouTube, and they're amazing and everything, right? And so that's not my lane. I'm not an expert in like growth strategies and stuff on social media at all. And so I think I was conflating myself with their kind of lane with how I was branding myself. And so the moment I would like double down on like, no, I help you find and negotiate your dream sponsorship so that you stop leaving thousands on the table. That's my lane, right? And no one can touch me there, right? It's like I've created this own lane. I have never, I don't like, I'm fairly positive I haven't seen anyone else call themselves a sponsorship coach. Some people are influencer managers, right? They're agents or talent managers or whatever, consultants. I've never heard anyone call themselves a sponsorship coach. And so I'm hopeful maybe the other people will start doing this. I don't know, but like, this is my lane. I help people. I don't manage people. I coach them. I teach them how to fish instead of like doing it for them. Right. Because there's a whole like segment of creators who, maybe aren't big enough to have managers. Maybe they don't want a manager, but they do need help. And so that's the void and the gap that I'm trying to fill with my content and my platforms and things like that. So having this niche is like, I believe, very, very, very critical to growth on whatever platform you're on. Coco said, do you have a different live stream schedule now? No, I do not. It's been a little bit all over the place over the last couple of weeks with the holidays and all that stuff. But usually it's going to be Fridays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's just been traveling and all this stuff. So, but just I commit to a live stream every single week. And so I wanted to do this so that we had this one this week. And Crafty Renate says, it's true. I think most people that have good insights in brand deals, they want to keep that info to themselves. Yeah, that's another really big, thing that I've noticed, which is like, there's a lot of, not secretism or like, there's a scarcity mindset. I'll say that. That's a great way to describe it, which is that people believe that like, if I tell other people about my brand contacts or about my opportunities that I'm getting, somehow like that will mean less money for me or less opportunities for me, right? Or I won't get as like, again, it's like, it's not a mindset of abundance where it's like, no, if I help other people, they will in turn help me. It'll help grow the ecosystem. If we all improve our pricing strategies, that will help me because brands will pay everyone more, right? So it's like, that's what one of the major missions that I have here is like helping everyone understand that like rising tides float all boats. There is more than enough money to go around. Trust me. And it's only going to get larger. So it's like, I have no problem sharing these like quote unquote secrets because they're not secrets, right? Like if you really wanted to figure it out, you could. And so it's like, I'm just kind of pulling behind the curtains of like, we've done 3 million. My wife and I have made $3 million personally in brand deals over the last number of years. So it's like, and I've, helped other creators earn 2 million plus additionally through my agency and through my coaching and things like that. So it's like I know what I'm talking about here. I have no imposter syndrome whatsoever. Like I can absolutely like feel comfortable calling myself a coach, an expert in this space because I've had hundreds and hundreds of repetitions, hundreds of brand deal contracts. Like I just have no hesitation. And so it's like, my challenge is to you is like, what is that thing for you where it's like, like you have no hesitation, like stepping into that space, stepping into that void and like puffing your chest out and being like, no, like I know what I'm talking about here. Right. And so that's like when I really knew, like, I need to rebrand this. I need to like really double down on this niche because this is my thing. Right. In the IG chat, we got Olivia. What's going on, Olivia? I was just chatting with you yesterday. Melissa, what's going on, Melissa? I missed oh no, I just got out of the chat. And Rashida, I saw you had a question and then I exited the Instagram chat and now I can't see it. I'm so sad. So Rashida, if you could tell me your question again, because I can't see it anymore. And I don't know why, but I'm getting a bunch of spam in my chat today. So let me just mute a few people here. um Maybe that means I'm getting bigger, guys, because I'm like starting to get spam in my chat. I don't know if that's like a thing, but I don't know. One can hope, right? Okay, so third thing. Okay, third thing. What if I had to start over as a creator? I would start working with brands right away. So what do I mean by this? Like, I know that there is a kind of an arbitrary milestone that I think a lot of creators have when it comes to when they feel like they're ready to partner with the brand, right? So it's like, I know like for a lot of YouTubers, it's like, oh, once I hit 10,000 subscribers, then I'll feel comfortable, working with the brand. Or once I monetize, then like brands will actually want to partner with me. Or like on Instagram, like once I hit 10,000 followers or whatever, right? And maybe some like brand once upon a time said, oh, well, like we only work with creators over X amount of followers, which doesn't help the situation, right? But that's a totally different subject, right? Like you don't want to work with those brands anyway. The regret that I had, or what I would kind of do differently is that, so when we started working with, when we started as YouTubers, like back in 2009, right? Growth was our primary goal. Right? Working with brands like really wasn't a thing back then, right? And we were focused primarily on getting monetized or getting into the partner program, as it was called back then, right? Because back in the day, like when we started, there was no partner program. But then once it was introduced after a couple of years, we were like, wow, that's like seems like a awesome way to make money, because again, brands weren't partnering with creators really in earnest. And again, like the growth seemed like it was the ticket to like success, like wealth, right? Like the amount of followers you had, amount of subscribers, all that stuff. But it's especially true now that the vast majority of creators, if you're listening to this, I would say it's probably nearly certain that this is true for you, is that you can make way more money working with brands than you can from pretty much any other monetization like avenue, whether it's AdSense, whether it's directly monetizing your followers. You can make a lot of money with courses and digital products and things like that too. But like in terms of like primary methods that you can make money indirectly, working with brands is good. Like very, very easily, you can make multiple thousands of dollars a month working with brands, even if you don't have that many followers. And so like that was one thing that I wish we kind of had a mindset about earlier on, because one of the things I teach in a lot of my courses is that, like it's not just about letting the brand tap into your organic distribution on your platforms, right? Most creators think that like that's the only reason that a brand would want to partner with them. And when in reality, there's so many different like facets and aspects and what I call KPIs, or what a lot of brands call KPIs, which are key performance indicators, about what would be successful, what they would call success for a campaign. So for example, one of the KPIs for a brand could be, we just want to get a bunch of great videos that we could repost on our Instagram or repost on our YouTube channel or use for paid advertising. Like that's their success metric, right? And so understanding that and like if you truly understand what they're trying to accomplish, then the amount of followers on your page has no bearing. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter how many views you're getting on average. It doesn't matter your post reach on Instagram or how many average views you're getting on TikTok. It doesn't matter at that point, right? Because that's not the goal of the campaign. And so I wish that I had, again, this is something that I realized over many, many years doing a lot of these campaigns and understanding like, it's not just about this kind of transactional thing where like, okay, brand X pays me, I post on my channel, people say awesome, end of relationship. Like that is influencer marketing of yesteryear. That's not the influencer marketing that's going to, really catapult your career over the next, like, let's say 5 years. And Coco said in the chat, what kind of brands are you most interested in working with? Oh, good. That's an interesting question. I am most interested in working with brands and startups who are helping other creators. That's my what's the ideal, it's not ideal customer persona, but it's like an ideal brand persona, I guess, is like, I believe that I have developed a really strong community of creators who are looking to weatherproof their business. And so like brands and startups, I've already worked with a couple, but like, brands who really understand that mission and like helping creators grow their careers, not just like grow on social media, but like become business people and become professional. those are all fair game to me. So it's like, you know, like things like bookkeeping services for freelancers and small businesses and creators, and like, you know, legal advice, and like all, you know, there's just like a whole litany of opportunities that I think I could tap into down the line. I'm not really focused on brand partnerships for me personally right now. I'm focused more on like education and like treating, you know, educating you guys. But that's kind of where my head is at. So interesting question. I appreciate you asking that. Mr. Zach Lee said, I would love to work with brands, but no one ever teaches how to go about this. Mr. Zach Lee, come on, man. I'm right here. This is what I'm teaching you. I will teach you how, whether it's from these live streams or my YouTube videos, or if you really want to go next level, I have 2 different courses about this. So depending on where you're at in your creator journey, my gifted to paid course helps you transition from getting a bunch of free product offers and help transition those into paid partnerships. So you actually figure out the vocabulary and the words to use and the types of emails that you can send to kind of pivot these opportunities into actually getting paid. And then my brand deal wizard course, which is coming up. It is January, guys, and enrollment for the next cohort of my brand deal wizard program opens at the very end of this month on January 31st. So if you're interested in that one is for more kind of like intermediate level creators who have a little bit of experience, a little bit more experience working with like doing paid partnerships with brands. And that's how you can start, you know, like quadrupling, quintupling the amount you're charging per post, per partnership. And so that really is, that's a live course, and that's taught over a 4-week period over Zoom. And there's like a whole community aspect to it and everything. It's really fun. So I only teach it 3 times a year. And so the enrollment for the next one is coming up in a couple of weeks. So Zach, if you have any questions about it, just DM me. I'm your guy, man. If you really want to work with brands, let me know. Just DM me. I can help you. Okay, diving back into IG chat. Man, IG chat's popping today. What's up, y'all? Serena finally found Justin. What's going on? Sweet Melly Bakery said, I use Lumanu to track invoices. Kate Hayes is here. Rashida says, I didn't have a question. I was just singing your praise that you were brilliant at sponsorship coaching. Thank you, Rashida. I appreciate that. Rashida took my brand deal wizard course. Was it cohort 4 or 3, Rashida? I think you were in the last cohort, right? Oh, we got my boo. She's making a cameo. Come here, baby.
Hi, friends. I was wearing Justin's boxers because I was on the Peloton, and his boxers are my favorite.
I don't know if they can hear you, boo boo.
Oh, yeah, but I have to put on clothes because the gardeners are here.
Oh, the gardeners are here. Okay.
Yeah,
you could just close the blinds if you want.
Today, Wednesday?
Today is Tuesday, boo.
Tuesday. They switched. It used to be Wednesday when
they did. Yeah, I don't know. They just like randomly started switching. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, so we're talking about what if I had to start over as a creator? Like that was an interesting question I got on Twitter, so I made the live stream all about it today.
Oh, so what did you say?
I still have. Oh yeah, now the leaf blower is going to start. Of course, that's funny. I still have 2 more points to get through, but I said that I would start a new YouTube channel instead of trying to revitalize my old one. That's one question I said.
No, but Jerry did that, and he thrived.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like I believe I'm gonna like push through because I think I can do it. But yeah, that was one thing. And then I said I wanted to start with a more narrow focus, like sponsorship coaching rather than like the business of being a creator, which is how I started initially. Yeah. And then like I would want to start working with brands like more quickly than I did before. You know, we were really focused on like growth and subscriber growth and all that stuff. But like we've made so much more money working with brands over the years than like on AdSense and stuff, you know. That's the thing. Brand initially it was like an education thing, but like nowadays, like if I was a creator starting over now, brands really get it a lot more than they did before, which is why I'm like giving the advice here is like, don't wait for like, oh, I need to get 10,000 subscribers or something. Like you can start working with brands way earlier now. Yeah. Oh my God. The leaf blower. This is hilarious. It's going to be a little loud in a few moments here, guys. Thanks, boo. Thanks for the cameo, boo. Okay. I did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, I gave them snacks. Sorry, our kids are home today too. They don't have school, so we're just juggling a bunch of things. And that is a leaf blower. We're live here, guys. We're gonna hear a leaf blower in the background here, so I apologize if it's very loud. Lindsay says, yes, we all heard about Justin's comfy boxers. Yes, I do have some comfy boxers. Yeah, that's if you watch our family vlogs, that's definitely a little inside joke. Zach said, yeah, we've all moved Wednesdays to Tuesdays, LOL. So yes, I was mentioning Rashida took my Brand Deal Wizard cohort number 4, I believe, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, she said it was 4. Rashida in the chat here is hyping me up. She said, if you haven't signed up for Brand Deal Wizard, you definitely should. That course changed the game for me. Rashida in the IG chat. Thank you, Rashida. I appreciate you so much. Ria, what's going up? Ria Vo just tuned in. She just took my gifted to paid workshop. So thank you for tuning in here. Rashida said, actually, I don't hear a leaf blower at all. Maybe it's because of this microphone. It's a condenser microphone, so you don't hear it as much. So I guess it's only like really, really loud in my ears. So that's good to know. Okay, so let's get back into it. I'm gonna finish up I have 2 more things I wanted to mention about what if I had to start over as a creator? But if you have any questions in the meantime, leave it in the chat while I'm talking so that I can dive back into them once I'm done. Okay, so we just talked about the 3 things. I have 2 more. The 4th item is stop worrying that I would want to stop worrying that everything had to be perfect, right? I was very much like, oh, the technology, my camera quality, the editing, my branding, my thumbnails, right? I was very obsessed with that, especially when I rebranded my Creator Wizard channel, that I wanted it to be like really high quality. And what people have told me consistently is that the reason that they are like ride or die for Creator Wizard, and so many of you tune in every single week on this chat, so I know who you are, right? You guys are here like every single week, and so it's like the reason that so many of you have like DM me and like signed up for my courses and all that stuff is because you have said that I consistently show up. Just like, right? Like I was mentioning, right? Like today, I'm not gonna be able to make the live stream on Friday, so I'm here today, right? Because I committed to doing it every single week, right? And that's what people care about, is like, helping them like achieve some outcome, educating them, being gracious with your time in the chats, in the DMs and the emails, not perfection. That's not what people care about, right? Maybe on Instagram, 5 years ago, people wanted like idyllic setting. Why do you think TikTok blew up? Do you think like the aesthetic on TikTok is perfection? No, the aesthetic is like reality, right? Coco says, I think today the perfection matters even less. People want authenticity. Exactly. And so I feel like people still get held up on this. If you need any indication that people don't care about perfection anymore, look at TikTok, right? Like the other thing too is that I think, people really love being on your journey, right? They love seeing you improve, right? They have immense pride that they were there from the beginning. I'm going to let you guys in. Those of you guys who are here, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes sneak. And this is something that, I'm not quite ready yet to reveal, but do you see that little black box right there? You probably can't see it on the IG chat, but that is a LED sign, and I can make my own messages on it. And I'm working on a very, very exciting project for the next 10 years. It is a mission and a goal that I'm creating for myself over the next 10 years to help creators big and small land 1 million sponsorships over the next 10 years by 2032. So this is what they call a big, hairy, audacious goal. And what that thing right there is going to be is it's going to be a live counter of all of the sponsorships that I've helped facilitate. There's going to be a leaderboard. There's going to be a way to sign up and kind of seamlessly indicate that you got another sponsorship. And so I really want to build this like massive community of people who are all cheering each other on, all helping each other out. And this is going to be the billboard. This is going to be, my little counter that we can all track the progress and all help each other win. And so it's like, I'm really, really excited because I haven't like ironed out all the fine details yet of like how I'm going to actually track it, how the leaderboard is going to work, how I'm going to get that thing to update automatically. So it's like, there's all these like pieces that I need to figure out, but I'm like super excited about this because I want this to become larger than myself. I'm just one person, right? But there are like a tidal wave of creators coming down the pipes that I know that I'll be able to help. Right. And so it's like, I really want, and I don't even care if they sign up for my courses or whatever. Like you can like join the leaderboard, even if you don't know me. Right. It's just a way for us all to like cheer each other on and help each other win. And so stay tuned on that because I'm really, really excited about doing stuff like this. And Ann Bless said, oh, true. You are extremely consistent. Thank you. I appreciate that. And simply Angela Ray said, that sounds amazing. I love it. Yes, absolutely. I appreciate that. Coco says, I love that idea. So yeah, anyways, it's about, it's not about perfection. It's about showing up. It's about like, again, I've said it in like past videos that like, if you help people, you will find a way to make money eventually. You are always a step further ahead in your journey than someone else. Right. And so there will always be people who like you can help with something. You may not think that I'm a subject matter expert in anything, right? You like look at yourself in the mirror, but like honestly, you are. Right. There are other people out there who would be inspired and encouraged and want to have one-to-one access to you. So I'd really encourage you. I made a video, if you haven't seen it on my YouTube channel, it's about 5 ways to make money in 2022 as a creator. And that was one of the ways, is like, just figure out a way to help people. And you'll find a way to make money eventually. I really believe that. Okay. So number 5, what if I had to start over as a creator? I would network and collaborate with other creators more. So in the beginning, when we started, we were on like, I don't know, kind of like an island, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Because like, I don't know. I mean, we made friends with some folks, but like, not many. And I don't know, we just kind of like stayed in our bubble and kind of did our own thing. But there were creators who really focused on collaborating around the same time, and like their growth was like absolutely astronomical. So like, I'm not saying like you have to be like make fake friends or like use people or something. What I am saying though is that you should be open to growing in other ways that don't just involve hacking and optimizing a social media algorithm on a platform, right? That's a big part of it, obviously, is like making content that's optimized for whatever platform you're on. And like, that's a very big part of it. But like, going outside your comfort zone and interacting with other creators in your niche. See, that's the thing, is like, I think that a lot of creators, a lot of creators look at other creators in their niche as competitors. Right. And they think that somehow if that person gets more opportunities or if that person grows, somehow that is like bad for me. And that's not. That's more eyeballs on your community, especially if you have a niche. That's more brands. That's more partnerships opportunities. Because when let's say a brand let's say keto, the keto diet. Let's just say that, right? I love using this one because it's a great example. Like, Emily and Sarah have grown. They just hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. They're doing extremely well. They're very, very strategic with the types of content that they're creating. And there's a lot of content creators out there starting to make keto content, right? Because this is like, a lot of people are on this diet. They're looking for recipe ideas, yada, 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 right? And so when a brand, let's say a brand who has a keto food product, wants to work with creators, yeah, they may work with the largest keto creator in that space, but they're not just going to want to work with one creator. They want to work with more people because they have they have marketing goals, they have marketing budgets. They need to work with more people because that's how they acquire new customers. Right. And so just because that other person is growing and that other person is getting brand partnerships, that's a good thing for you, because that raises the visibility of everyone in your niche. So stop looking at other creators as competitors. You can help each other. Right. And I've talked about this before, like, become a known like quantity in those people's comment sections. Hype them up when they get a sponsorship, right? And, like, cheer them on every time that something good happens to them, because the next time that they get a sponsorship with a brand that you think would be a good fit for you, after you've been hyping them up for 3 months, you will have no hesitation going in and DMing them and be like, hey, congratulations, I'm so thrilled for you. I would love to, work with that brand. Would you mind introducing me or sharing the contact? Again, if you've been like giving them value, hyping them up for months and months and months, they will give you the contact the vast majority of the time. Right. So it's like, again, it comes back down to this like abundance versus scarcity mindset thing here. Right. You can help each other. Nadia says, I do need to step out of my comfort zone in 2022. I also don't want to bother other people. That's another reason for not reaching out to others. I'll give you a quick anecdote. I'm really excited. If you guys are on my newsletter, on my email list, I have mentioned or just kind of teased out the fact that I got a massive opportunity to speak at the Thinkific Amplify conference in late January. It's completely free to join. So if you have not like gotten your ticket, I'm going to be sending out another email about it with my like little link on Thursday. And it's basically, Thinkific is a platform for essentially productizing your expertise. So it's like a course platform. That's the platform I use to like run my courses. But you can do workshops, you can do coaching, you can do community, you can do lots of stuff on their platform. I'm a big fan of it. And so I was like really, really like thankful they actually asked me to speak. in front of 25,000. It's a virtual conference, a virtual summit. There's going to be 25,000 creators in attendance and entrepreneurs and small business owners and stuff. So I'm like over the moon excited. But one thing that I did is I looked at the other speakers who were speaking and I DM'd them on Instagram and I said, hey, I just checked out your profile. I see that we're both speaking at the same conference. And I would love to connect, essentially. I love your content. And, engaged a little bit over DM. And then randomly, one of the other speakers who I had been kind of casually talking about DM me and said, hey, would you be open to hopping on a Zoom sometime this month about collaboration opportunities and like how we can help each other out? And I was like, wow, you're reading my mind, because partnerships was like my 2022 goal, my 2022 goal, right? And so that person actually reached out to me. So Nadia, to your point, you say you don't want to bother people, but how do you not know that that is another creator's goal out there, is to like collaborate with other people in your niche? You never know. The worst that they can say is no, like Lindsay says, or not respond. And you are back to where you're at least. If you reach out, they may give it to you and have that chance. That's exactly right. And that's the exact same logic that you need to have when it comes to pitching brand partnerships too, Lindsay. So that gem like that you're dropping here is very, very applicable to a lot of different like things in life. Is like, closed mouths don't get fed, right? You're never going to get that opportunity unless you ask, right? Yes. D Finch fam said, I really love your perspective of content creators. I thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for following me recently, because I think I noticed you followed me earlier. And Sweet Melly Bakery said, yes, my audience is loving seeing more of my family. I hope to be able to work with other family creators. I love sharing about all the things I use for my kiddos and our adventures. Yeah, and Simply Angela Ray said, that's awesome to Melissa. Yeah, and again, too, Melissa, like, think about it in terms of like, I love the way you're thinking here about like partnering with family creators because you're a food creator. Because think about creators in like, what's the word I'm searching for here? Let me take a swiggle. I'm thinking about this. Okay, the word I'm looking for is orthogonal content verticals. So you're a food creator. Why not partner with a family creator? Because that person's audience, they cook food, right? They're probably busy parents, right? So they probably want to follow you to create, to be able to like make some of the amazing recipes that you create, right? So you don't just need to partner with, creators in your niche. You can like think of like, okay, what other audiences would really resonate with my content? And Anonymous Joe, she said, are you live or it's recorded? This is live, bro. This is live. So if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. So I love that idea about kind of like tapping into the family space. Oh, you got your ticket, Melissa. That's so awesome. So glad that you're going to be tuning in. Aubrey, Girls Got to the Drugstore. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. So in summary, here's how confident I am about this. If I had to start over as a creator, I feel very confident that I would be able to grow to the point that I am now at again. For sure. Like, I think a lot of people think that like, oh, like social media is so, saturated. There's no way that I'm going to be able to stand out. There's so many creators in like the space that I'm at. That is true. If you start making, all the, content you're making is going to be identical to, other creators in your niche. But if you really figure out like, what is the one thing that I am like an expert at? And like, what, like, I know that like, this is my thing. Right. Then at that point, and you step into it and you own it, no one can touch you, right? Because you're not obsessed looking at, other people's numbers. You're not obsessed like looking at the opportunities that other people are getting. You're doing your thing. Yeah, maybe you're collaborating with other creators because you don't view them as threats. You view them as collaborators. When you have that mindset going into this, like, yeah, there's some regrets that I've had over the years, but like, I'm owning it, right? I'm not letting that get me down. I'm not letting the, the perfectionism thing get to me. I'm not letting the, imposter syndrome thing get to me. That, like that is like, I can't even tell you how liberating it is when you finally like shake off that imposter syndrome thing, right? In the beginning, when I first started creating content, I did have it a little bit. I was just, especially when I launched my course, I was like, are people really going to actually like pay me to like teach them this stuff? Or like, but the moment I started getting outcomes for people, the moment I started like actually helping people getting paid like tens of thousands of dollars more than they were before, like the imposter syndrome went right out the window, because it's like, now I can like own it. Yeah. People can call it conceited, or like, I'm not humble or whatever. And it's like, when it comes to this, I'm not, because it's like, what I'm saying is the truth. Like, I will literally, I know for a fact that I can help you get paid more. So it's like, when you own that, when, whether it's your course or whether it's the content you're creating or whatever it is, when you like lean into that with everything that you have, and that the content that you're creating is helpful, and, people are really going to find it valuable, then you're not going to feel like an imposter anymore, because, and that opens up a whole host of other content opportunities for you, or content ideas, because that one piece of content that you were like scared to make, 6 months ago, because you didn't want to feel like you're bragging or whatever. Like, my wife and I have been very candid and very transparent to say that we made $3 million working with brands over the last number of years. Like, not everyone is like comfortable sharing their pocketbook, right? Or like talking about their bank account, essentially. Right. But it's like, now that I have like disclosed that and I can talk about it, I can be so much more transparent. I can talk about different individual deals that we've done. I could talk about, there's a video that I want to make called, I don't know what the title is, but it's about a brand deal that was a $24,000 deal that didn't work out. It fell apart at the last minute, right? And that, like, I could, if I was like embarrassed of that and I felt like an imposter, right? And I felt like someone who was like not confident negotiating things like that, if that was like where I was at mentally, I wouldn't make that video, right? Because I wouldn't feel confident enough to do that. But because I'm not in that place, but because it's just like, I understand that's the way things go, and like sometimes you're not going to get every deal, I'm going to make that video, right? And so it's not about like, again, it goes back to that whole thing about perfectionism, right? Like, people don't want to see you succeed every single time. They want to see some failures. They want to, like, because that's what life is. You're not going to succeed every single time. I didn't hit the amount of creators that I was hoping to for my my gifted to pay course. I had a target of 100 creators, and I got 26 enrollees, right? So it's like, that was like 25% of my target, but I'm okay saying that. And that knowledge and that learning helps me understand how I can improve for next time, right? Because at the same time, I want to be able to cap it so that there is like an expectation of intimacy when it comes to my courses and things like that. Again, this was my gifted to paid workshop, not my brand deal wizard course. That one is usually smaller because the investment is a little bit larger. But it's like, I have no problem saying those things, because it's like, I'm not ashamed of that. I helped 26 creators, like 26 creators exchanged money to me. Like that's a big deal. Right. So it's like, I have no problem talking about that. Like and I think that like carrying that mentality over into like the things that you're doing in your creator business is really, really critical, because when you can have that, and Aubrey said in the chat, which I love, this is like, people don't relate to perfect. Right? People do not relate to perfect. And that's exactly right. Because not only do people not relate to perfect makes them feel worse about themselves, right? People don't want to, because like, how many times have you looked at like someone else's life on social media and been like, wow, that person has a nice life. And then it makes you feel worse by comparison, especially if you're in that headspace, right? But if like, you can like understand someone's like, if they share kind of the roller coaster of their creator journey with you, it endears you to them. I actually read, if you haven't read it, or if you don't follow Vanessa Lau on social media, she has a program and a course called the Bossgram Academy, but she has a YouTube channel, Instagram, all this stuff. And she's really, really inspirational to me. Like, a lot of the success that I have had in my courses has been due to like, watching a lot of her videos, understanding, like studying her, how she launches her courses, being on her email list, reading her emails, understanding her copywriting, all that stuff. I've learned a lot from her. And she's shared a 2021 recap, very, very vulnerable recap blog post about how she didn't hit her goals. Like, she had a goal of $4 million for her courses. Like, she's in another ballpark, obviously, in terms of the scale of her business. But she had a goal of 4 million. She only made 2.9 million, but she had a huge amount of growing pains. She hired a bunch of people. Then when realized that the numbers, the sales volume wasn't coming in, she had to let people go. She had a bunch of personal psychological issues that in terms of like confidence and imposter syndrome and like so much. It was like a really long blog post, but it was just like, wow, that was like amazing. It gave me confidence to like share more things about myself that I wasn't previously comfortable sharing, and feeling like I couldn't be vulnerable about that. Right. So it's like, I would really recommend like following her, reading that post from her, because I'm just like I'm very inspired by people who are, again, like you feel like tied to that person, because it's like, wow, like that person really gets it. Like, not everything is perfect. And like, that makes me feel better about my journey as a creator. Because, like, again, like not everything's going to work out as a creator. You can bust your butt. You can like film what you think is the perfect video, and then you release it and no one watches it. I have a lot of videos on my channel where it's like, I feel like that was a really good video and only like 300 people watched it. Only 300. That's a lot of people, but like, I feel like I should have thousands of, creators could find this valuable. So it's like, I'm not immune to that, like, feeling all the time. But so it's like reading other people's journeys. I really, really relate to that. And so I really would encourage you to carry that over into your business and figuring out how can I depict more of a real story for myself around my creator brand. So I have been talking very, very long. It's almost live stream's almost over. But what other questions you got? I do want to answer your questions, because that's what the whole point of this is. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk about this on a live stream, because that was a really, really fantastic question about what if I had to start over as a creator from Ted. So thanks for that question, Ted. What do you think of the fit today, guys? I got this thermal and flannel combination for the holidays as a Christmas present from someone in my family. I would never buy this for myself, but somehow I'm feeling it. Like, I was like, wow, this actually looks pretty good. This is how like fashion challenged I am. April recently told me that like she thinks my wardrobe is stuck in like 2009, because I still think like cargo pants look awesome. Cargo pants, like they're so utilitarian. Like, why would you not want to have additional pockets beyond the ones that you have, like the normal pockets, right? You could like, so this is my problem. I feel like cargo shorts look good. Or like carpenter jeans. Do you remember when those were popular? The ones that had like the little like hook of fabric that you could hang a hammer on. Like, obviously I'm not like a carpenter, but I thought those were pretty cool too. I don't have any carpenter pants, just by the way. I'm just saying, like, this is how stuck in like the 2000s I am. Coco said, did you see the question I asked at the beginning of the stream? No, Coco, can you please paste it again? Let me see if I can find it. Coco said, do you actually use cargo pockets? No, I don't actually use them. Well, a few times I've used them, but I'm just saying I like the option of being able to use them. I may not use them all the time, but I like if all of a sudden one day I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many things to carry, and my regular pockets are full. I have my like watch, or I have my phone, my keys. Oh my gosh, where am I going to put all of these loose nails? I don't know. I'm like doing doing something on the roof. Where am I going to put them? But no, I haven't reused my cargo. Maybe. So are you trying to tell me that I can't, like, cargo shorts are out for that reason? Anyways, Coco says, what would you tell a brand you love and want to work with, but they will only offer you free product? Coco, I really, really would suggest that you take my gifted to paid course when it comes out, probably late Q1, February, March timeframe, because that course is literally dedicated to this topic. And I do have a YouTube video about this on like a free video on YouTube you can watch about this. But the main there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there were like two full days that were each about an hour and a half talking just about this topic, about how to convert them. But one of the major takeaways that I want to like emphasize to you, it's kind of like a mindset shift, is that and so when creators get these, emails from brands or whatever, offering, free products or gift cards, or join our ambassador program, get an affiliate link, like there's a lot of different variations of free. And I think what all creators think is that all of these types of pitches are equal, and they're not. One of the things that I go into in extreme detail in this workshop is that you need to have different responses for each of these strategies. So if they pitch you a gift card, you say something different. If they pitch you their affiliate program, you say something different. If they want you to be an ambassador, you say something different. If they say that the product is expensive, so that should be enough compensation for you, that's a different response. So it's like, and I have like swipe files, I have the exact emails, kind of like you can adapt to your own space. And so it's like, it really is about pivoting and understanding and identifying, okay, what is the type of free relationship that they're pitching to me? And then and then basically pivoting your response accordingly. It's not just about saying like, oh, I'm only prioritizing paid partnerships at this time. Obviously that's one thing you can say, but you're not giving them any sort of value in helping you understand why they should pay you. That's the whole point of it, is like building this very compelling narrative and case for like why they should pay you. And so that's what the whole course is about. And so I'd really recommend like kind of checking that out down the line when I officially release it. Again, I did this like live workshop to kind of beta test it, get a bunch of feedback from the people who participated. And so then I'm going to be releasing it as a fully on-demand kind of like evergreen course in late Q1. And so hopefully that's helpful, but that's kind of really the mindset you need to have, is like understanding that not all free, discussions are made equal. And so you really do need to have the mindset to understand and identify exactly what to say to understand why they would pay you. Like, oh, okay, it makes sense now. I'm going to pay you for this, right? Coco says a lot of brands that I'm interested in working with are small, sustainable brands, and they generally don't have big budgets. That's something I'm running into a lot. And in this case, I reached out to the brand. Yeah, I mean, that's really common. And even I've had like other creators who even took my Brand Deal Wizard course, participate in Gifted to Paid. Like I counterintuitively, I thought, I was like, oh, like people who took the Brand Deal Wizard course, since that's a little bit more advanced, like maybe they wouldn't take the Gifted to Paid course because that's geared more towards like beginner and aspirational creators. But I had a lot of people who say that they actually have in their space, like let's say tech, for example, a lot of tech creators struggle with this because a lot of tech creators are excited to get the new free, the newest phone from, Samsung or whatever. And it's the only thing that they get is the free product. And so it's a challenge because everyone's accepting the free product. And so it's like, how do you actually convince them to, to pay them? Brandon from Tech Out of TV in the chat here said, the Gifted to Paid course has my blessing. Definitely worth every penny you'd pay. I appreciate that, Brandon, because, and he took my Brand Deal Wizard course too. So it's like understanding like, that these are kind of like different conversations to have. And there always is things that you can pivot to, Coco. So that's kind of the mindset shift that I would recommend having. And Tech Auto TV also had a question. What's up, Justin? How has outsourcing your video editing been working for you? And what is your rule of thumb on when it makes sense for others to do so? Okay, great question. So, and I know I have some, Serena, I see your question in the IG chat. I will get to momentarily. Thank you for the question. Okay, so outsourcing my video editing, the reason I did this is because I'm not good at editing. I have edited many videos. I edited our daily family vlogs for 3 years or more, over 1,000 videos. So it's like, I have absolutely, like I would call myself a proficient editor, but it is not my specialty. My specialty is my knowledge. My specialty is is being in the video and being on camera and being engaging. That is my specialty. Editing is not my specialty. And so that was the biggest realization in the mindset shift that I needed to have, is like, I guarantee you, no matter what creator you are, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. No matter who you are, there is someone else out there in this world who is better at editing than you are. Let me say that again. I don't care if you think you are a genius editor. There is someone else out there who is better at it than you. And you think, oh, people won't understand my editing style. They won't understand the subtleties. They won't understand what to cut out. BS. There is someone out there who is better than you. And so if you want, like, if your goal is to get your content to the most amount of people, then the two things that you should be outsourcing are editing and your thumbnails. Unless you're like a genius graphic designer. There are too many creators who hold on to this for too long. And let me be frank, like I'm paying, roughly $250 per edit. So it's not cheap. You can definitely, find editors out there for, that a little bit more cost effective, but I am like going out there with the best of the best because that's the brand that I want to create. And so I look at it as an investment. I am not making back $250 per video, right? But again, my return on investment for like my brand as Creator Wizard is not about getting the most amount of views on YouTube. That would be great. And one day I hope to get there, but it's about lead generation for my courses and things like that too, right? So it's like if I have an increase in, my average viewership from, let's say, 500 average views to 1,000, that's a 2x increase in lead generation for me, for creators who may one day, want to take my courses. And again, like it's not all about courses for me. Like my wife and I are experiencing a lot of success on our other platforms. We do a lot of other brand partnerships. So we have other revenue streams. So it's like, I don't look to this as the primary source of income. So it's a little bit different for us, obviously, but it's like, because I also it's very mission driven for me too, because it's like, I want to help a lot of creators, and I don't care if you ever pay me a dime for the entire relationship that I know you. Like, that's not my goal. My goal is to help you. Right. And I know that there's always going to be a subset of those people who I help who will pay me. So it's like, again, that's just like my mindset about this. But I really do think that like there exist people out there who can make the best version of you exist, if that makes sense. And Brandon also had a follow-up question: is how much prep work do you put into the editing? Are you just handing over the files and they know your style, or are you taking each video to send them creative direction? Brandon, I don't do anything. My editing team is the team at Replayed. I'm a huge fan. If you want to check them out, I have the link. I have like my like sign up link that you can try them out for free in my description box, like for the first edit. And I've been working with them for the last maybe like 15, 20 edits or so. And previously I was working with Aubrey, Girls Guide to the Drugstore, and she is incredible as well. And so there's like, and so with the Replayed team, they basically like, took for the first like 2 or 3 edits, there was like quite a bit of feedback and like them understanding my style and stuff. But now I don't do anything, Brandon. I just send them upload the files. I give them the outline that I created for the video so they can kind of get an understanding of like the cadence. And then I send them the title that basically the title I have in mind, and that's it. And when they send it back to me, I probably have on average 3 or 4 notes. Like, oh, at this timestamp, like use a different B-roll, cut this clip a little bit differently. And that's it. Like it's so seamless. And it's like, it's allowed me to focus on all these other areas of my business that I really want to be focusing on, like my newsletter and like my, focusing on making my courses better, and like focusing on doing podcasts with other creators and collaborating and like partnerships and all this stuff. There's so much other stuff that I do behind the scenes, and so like, it really has become a game changer for my business. Highly recommended. Yeah. And question from Serena. Brandon, again, just DM me if you have any questions about this whole outsourcing editing thing. Serena Finch in IG said, what is your advice on trying to reach a brand for the first time? Great question, Serena. So I have a pitching methodology that I teach in my Brand Deal Wizard course called the ROPE method. And it stands for relevant to a campaign that the brand is already working on. Organic, which means that you can tie your pitch back to something that you've already posted on your channel or on your platform. P is persistent, meaning that you actually follow up multiple times, even if they don't respond. With different things, right? So you're not just saying like, hey, just want to follow up. And E is easy to execute when they say yes. So actually, if they get this pitch, it's so amazing, and they say, yes, sounds great. How much? That's what you want them to say. Yes, sounds great. How much? That is, whenever you craft a pitch, when you're reaching out to them for the first time, that's your goal in mind. And so it's not like, hey, I love your brand, I'd love to collaborate. That's not the pitch you send, because you are then saying, hey, do work for me and create an idea. Like, you are putting the ball into their court, which is the exact opposite that you want to do, because you do not want them to like, they have a million other things to do. They don't want to like create an idea for you, right? You need to like tie something up with a nice bow and be like, hey, what do you think? The investment is going to be X, but what do you think? They may say, well, hey, we actually aren't really doing many like activations on TikTok, but what about YouTube? Right? Give them something tangible to think about, and then you can basically adapt it to work for your platforms. So that's really kind of the mindset you need to have, because, again, like I see this mistake being made so often, which is like brands will just DM, or, and a creator will DM a brand on Instagram and be like, oh, I love your, I've used your product for 3 years. Like, I'd love to collaborate. That's all they say. Like, that is the pitch they get hundreds of times a day. So they're not going to respond to you. So I go into this in incredible detail in my courses, like how do you actually find the right person to, to reach out to, because you don't want to send these messages in vain. You want to make sure that you're reaching out to the right person, not too low at the brand, not too low at the brand, not too high. You want to find the right contact. It's like Goldilocks, right? You need to find the right person to, massively increase the amount of, the probability they're going to respond to you, and that they're the decision maker and actually do paid influencer partnerships, right? But then just as important is the actual crafting of the pitch and understanding how you can speak their language in a really compelling way. And again, I go into that in like extreme detail in the course. So if that's something you want to find out more information about, you just can go to branddealwizard.com to join the wait list. Again, enrollment starts for my course on January 31st. And so signing up for my newsletter or the wait list, I would actually recommend signing up for the wait list. And let me actually pull it up here. Do I have it here? There. branddealwizard.com, because typically if you're on the wait list, I will give you early access to enroll, because again, enrollment is capped. And so if you do want to get in, make sure you get your spot. You definitely want to sign up for the wait list. So I would just recommend checking that out. Yeah, you're welcome, Serena. I'm so glad it was helpful. Okay. Last question. We have a great question here before the stream ends. Curls and Kids said, how would you go about narrowing down a niche that is motherhood? Because motherhood encompasses so much. Or is it okay to touch on different parts of it that you do it well and it makes sense? So this is a very common one that I hear, Curls and Kids. So one challenge that I have for you is basically to go on your channel and look at, actually, let's do this right now. I'm going to do a live audit of your channel real quick, if I can find it, Curls and Kids, and make potentially a recommendation for you. Oh no, I can't find your channel. I typed Curls and Kids, but it's not coming up. And I don't think you can link your channel in the chat. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there we go. I found it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I hope this is okay with you. Okay, here we go. Curls and Kids. Those of you who are on the IG chat, I apologize if you can't see this right now. And let me get a background going here, because we're just all black. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. All right, Curls and Kids, 431 subscribers. Gender reveal. Okay, well, first and foremost, you need to upload more, Curls and Kids. You haven't uploaded a video in 4 years. So that would be number one. More active on Instagram. Okay, let me find your Instagram. Here we go. Sorry, this page isn't available. Okay, got to make sure you link the right Instagram here, because for some reason I can't get to your page from your Instagram. So, let me know in the chat like what your username is, because it's not whatever's linked here. But anyways, like let me give you the gist of this here. Couldn't find your channel, but basically what I would do is like I would go into your insights on Instagram and I would analyze which posts are performing the best and see if you can identify a common theme. Are there any common themes of content within the motherhood realm? So for example, maybe your posts about food do the best. Okay. So you then become about quick weeknight meals for moms. I don't know if that's, I'm just made it up, but like go and analyze your content to see what your followers like the most from you. And so if there is something specific, and maybe you go even further, right? Quick weeknight meals for, families who are, where the parents are on keto. This is crazy. You think I'm joking here, but like there is a big audience there, of people who like probably experience this, where it's like the parents are on the keto diet, but it's like, I don't want to make two separate meals for my family. So it's like, how can I make meals that my kids will like and will help us stay on the keto diet? Again, like I'm just making something up here. I don't know what it is for you, but that's the type of mindset where you just like keep going down a level, because not only will that help you grow on social media, right? Because it's like, it's very clearly obvious what the value proposition is if you go something that narrow. I actually went into this in a lot of detail in my Gifted to Paid course, which is like helping you understand really what is your niche and what is what I call your STP, which is your surprising transformative promise. I go through a bunch of examples of creators who have taken this framework and like used it to like grow their following, get a bunch more brand partnership opportunities and things like that. So that would just be my kind of like tip here is like figuring it out. What is your within the motherhood realm? I know you like talking about a lot of different things, but in the beginning, when you're first growing your platform and trying to get brand partnerships and opportunities, you really do need to double down on something. So within motherhood, maybe it's not food, maybe it's something else, maybe it's organization, maybe it's, mindset related to like, balancing motherhood as well as your career. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is for you. But that's the type of approach and the kind of mental framework that I would use trying to figure out what your niche is, because not only is it going to help you get more brand partnerships, but it's going to help you grow. And again, if you want to find out like more information about kind of this STP and like, I would really recommend getting on the wait list for when I officially launch Gifted to Paid later this quarter, like in March timeframe, because it goes like in extreme detail into that. And Curls and Kids said that helps a lot. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. This was completely impromptu. I know that I don't usually go live on this day, but I appreciate each and every one of you so much for tuning in here every week. So again, I'm not going to be doing the live stream on Friday. Hope to get back at it for next Friday. But pardon me. And yes, again, if you're not on my email list, I would love you to join. Let me. That's like the best way to stay updated with everything that's going on in my world. And let me paste it in the chat here. Right there. And again, if you're not on my email list, I send out sponsorship opportunities every single week, like paid sponsorship opportunities. So I would really recommend like joining that, because that's where you're going to see get a bunch of all my new videos. I send out just like tons of news articles, all that stuff. So anyways, thank you so much again, everyone, and I will see you next